we filed in the House floor an expulsion of George Santos, of Congressman Santos. It's really important for us to recognize that George Santos is a fraud, a liar. He has lied about the most horrific shooting in LGBTQ modern history, the Pulse nightclub shooting. He's lied about 9/11. He's lied about the Holocaust. He's lied about his education. He's lied about his career. And as we all know, just recently, he's been now given classified access to important information and classified information that he should not have. I want to also note that today, myself and the two other freshman members that are LGBTQ, Congresswoman Becca Balint, Congressman Eric Sorensen, have been talking about this expulsion resolution to get George Santos out of Congress. Congressman Torres, Congresswoman Balint, Congressman Sorensen, myself, we're all LGBTQ. And George Santos, of course, is gay, we think, and he has disgraced our community. So, this has already been filed today. We already know many of those who have already asked for his resignation, and so we're going to get this onto the floor, and we're going to expel George Santos.
Today is the day when Democrats are bringing the fire. Jeez, there's a Representative Robert Garcia. He's leading that group of Democrats that are asking again for the resignation of one George Santos here. He represents a community that is now shaming them with his lies. So this, again, the big point about this now shift is he's now getting these classified briefings. A guy who has 4 different names and we don't exactly know who he is or why he decided to tell all these lies. Here are these 5 Democrats, as he pointed out there again. Santos's fellow LGBTQ freshman Congress members, Garcia, Becca Balint, as he pointed out, Representative Eric Sorensen, along with Richie Torres and Dan Goldman, both Democrats from New York, also where Santos is from, filed that resolution on Thursday. Which for a second, you guys, made me wonder, I said, why is it such a big deal? He wants to point out we're all members of the LGBTQ community, so therefore he's embarrassing us. I was like, anybody that's in Congress should not want their colleague to be engaged in this level of lies, any for that matter, but this level of lies about who he is before he even gets in there. But what this could possibly do is force more people to think, well, it's just those gay folks, the LGBTQ folks who don't know how to be honest. People like to slap one particular kind of characteristic on a group of people because of the actions of this guy. I wonder when it's gonna get slapped on Republicans. Just a little side note there. Still, Santos responded to this reporter's question about this whole thing and this resolution for his expulsion. You can imagine how defiant he just might be. Watch this.
Have you had the opportunity to talk to Robert Garcia?
I don't even know who Robert Garcia is. Who asked that question?
I did, JC with Politico.
JC,
He's the one that has
clue.
put forth the resolution to expel you.
So he believes in silencing the electorate of the United States.
Your
That's
fellow New
unfortunate.
York Republican Mark Molinaro said he'd support the resolution. Any reaction to that?
You should ask him.
Any plans to step down?
No.
Thank you, Mr. Santos.
No plans to step down because he'd be silenced to the electorate who voted for me. People in my district who voted for me. Weird because according to The Guardian, dozens of George Santos's constituents called for his resignation at the US Capitol. They made the trip to make sure that he saw and heard from them that they're also on the same group that want to silence the electorate. I guess that's how this thing works. Let's watch them as they showed up at his office. They were there. Watch.
Press coming through. Yeah. Also, selfie everyone. And bless everybody.
Democrats that want him to resign are a whopping 89%, of course, because they're so hateful. Independents at 72%, and Republicans at 71%. It's not like it's overwhelming or anything, Miranda. He's just trying to do the good work for the American people. Just saying.
Yeah, I really want to go back to the he's gay, we think. That was my favorite part of that video because as I'm also a member of the LGBTQ community, and my very first thought when all these lies started coming out was, oh, no, because exactly what you said is just gonna be associated with members of the LGBTQ community and other gay politicians, and that's definitely not true. And so I loved the whole, he says he's gay, he's lied about everything else, so we're not entirely sure. That could be a lie. And then moving on to his response, I don't even know who Robert Garcia is. That just makes you sound dumb. You're a politician and you don't know who the players are. That sounds like a you problem, and it makes it sound like you don't know what you're doing. You don't even know where you are or who you're supposed to be working with. And so and they didn't, his constituents they didn't vote for him. They voted for the fake him, that the persona that he projected. They didn't actually vote for him. And yeah, those numbers definitely speak for themselves. The overwhelming majority, even the Republicans, everyone's like, no, there's something wrong with this guy. We got to get this guy out of here.
Except now he's getting these confidential classified briefings. I mean, just a month or two after we're seeing all the classified information that continues to be found in people's homes, former presidents and vice presidents' homes. But we don't care about that right now. Again, by the way, I did think about maybe another reasons why these Republicans, maybe ones who aren't necessarily openly calling for his resignation, maybe the reason is because they need him there in office. We know Kevin McCarthy, that's probably his point of view. But the thing is, after this, say he does resign. I think in New York, they'd have to run a special election to fill his vacancy. So there's the opening for maybe someone else that could be running that maybe has different ideological points of view that might win that seat. That just might be the problem. As we already know, that red wave didn't materialize, and the Congress is just barely in control of Republicans. Can't lose not a single other one. They actually could, but not in their mind.